Kwame Asherala, Shalawam, Akiam out there. You know, first and foremost, want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Ba'ashem Rakakodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom unto the brothers that pushing this truth to the four corners of the earth. Shalom unto the speckled birds and the aquatium that out there listening and learning, you know, being faithful unto their husbands, you know. So this is a quick lesson, as you can see by the title. You know, I'm going to show some clips here first, and then, you know, we will get into some scriptures, right? So this will be the first one here.
Change.
Have you guys?
You were the president. What's one thing you would change?
I would put more pressure on men who rape kids and
Yes.
women. I hate it. I hate it. Can I give another one?
Absolutely.
I hate racists too.
Put that.
Racists
Say
and
that.
rapists. I don't like them.
Say
Talk
that.
to him.
Like, there should really be more penalties for people who treat others differently because of their skin color.
Yeah.
100%.
I feel like, you know, people don't take it seriously. Well,
Well,
the bigger heads.
Yeah, the
Have you guys ever went to the club and y'all get drunk and y'all lit, and then y'all get in the car, and by the time you get home, you're so drunk that you can't even fuck because you fell asleep in the car? I found the solution. The solution is to fuck in the club. Like the song. That's what you gotta do in the bathroom. Duh.
Oh boy.
Deal fuck niggas, still can't believe I used to fuck with you. Poppin' playing B's cause I ain't playing to be stuck with you. Damn, I see you still kick it with them op bitches. I'm the only reason that your goofy ass got bitches. All them hoes wanna look like me, bitch most likely. Only fucking you just to spite me. But please don't get it twisted, I ain't trippin'. I never put my faith in a nigga, bitch, I'ma die independent. If you was wondering, yeah boy, I'm still that bitch. I had to block you, but you still gotta watch this shit. Cause who the fuck rock it like me? No bra, tight tee, slick back, ponytail, feeling like I'm iced tea. You know I suck it good, real hood when you wake up. You know her head weak if she ain't fucking up her makeup. Damn, I can't believe I used to let you fuck me. I'd rather be in jail before I broke me. Ladies, love yourself cause this shit could get ugly. That's why as fuck niggas get money. And I don't give a fuck if that nigga leave tonight. Because nigga, that dick don't.
Now the last part of that line.
Deal fuck nigga.
The last part of that line, what she was going to say is that when she said she don't give a fuck if this nigga leave tonight, because she was going to say that dick don't run me, you know. So as you all could see by these 3 videos, you know, and why it is I titled the video the way I did, is because you see the state of the world we're in right now, right? This is the state of our women, you know, the level of pride they have. Now, we do a lot of videos on women, on how they should be or whatever it is, right? So, I ain't gonna even bother to go back into those scriptures, you know? We're gonna bring out some different scriptures today, you know? So, firstly, let me go to Lamentations 4:1. Let me set this straight first. Right, for these women and them out here. Set this straight first. Right, this Lamentations 4:1. How is the gold become dim? Right? How is the most fine gold change? Right? What is this gold the Lord talking about? Let's read on and see. The stones of the sanctuary are poured out in the top of every street. The precious sons of Zion. Right? Comparable to fine gold. I looking. I ain't seeing it say sons and daughters or just daughters. It say the sons. You understand? Unless I seeing wrong. You know, I can't let me know if I seeing wrong. Because I know for a fact, verse 2, it say the precious sons of Zion comparable to fine gold are how they esteem as earthen pitchers. The work of the hands of the potter. Right? And we all know who is the potter, right? Verse 3, it says, even the sea monsters draw out the beast they give suck to their young ones, the daughter of my people is become cruel, like the ostriches in the wilderness, right? And how are ostriches be in the wilderness, right? Especially when see danger coming, it'll stick their head in the sand, right? And this is how we women are today, right? It's like they see the danger and they refuse to accept it, right? And metaphorically, that is their way of sticking their head in the sand, right? Because they're thinking it will just blow past, right? Because, you know, Esau put this notion in the head. Two notions. One is that we have one life to live, right? So live it the best way possible and blah, blah, blah. You know, don't give an answer what anybody think or say about you and think. That's the first notion, right? The second notion with these females is that Salakia. Alright, can. Right, so the second notion is they Esau put the notion in the head that better days coming. Right? Especially that better days coming theory. Because I did a video on that better days are coming for the elect. Right? Not the two-thirds and the heathens. Right? Now we all know that the two-thirds, they're gonna be reborn again in the kingdom with their right minds. You know? And they will still be above the heathens. Right? But the time that coming, right, Jacob's trouble, right? The time, the day of darkness, right? Which is when the Lord is returning, you know? Them is not no nice times, right? They thinking that they could keep their head in the sand, you know, during that whole time period. You understand? Because look at the pride on these women. Because the first video is with Shensia, right? The man asked her if she was the president, right? What would she do? What is basically the thing she would sanction, right? First she talk about rapists, right? Now that's a whole different topic that I don't want to get into. The main part is with the racists, right? She say she don't find it have enough judgment basically, you know, for people being racist. You understand? This is why I titled the video the way I did, because if we was to rely on women, we'd have be gone. We would have been gone. Because, hey, every Akim experiences already, you know, whether it's in our workplace or it's in your home or whatever it is, you know, when it have a woman on top of you, when they give women a certain level of power, they just abuse it to the max. Because why? They move too emotional. If they don't like something, right, that you did, they go and torture your ass. They go and torture your ass. They just move on emotion. They can't think logically. They can't think like us men. You understand? And that is what's so wrong about we people today. Right? And they're so comfortable living in this world. Right? Especially the men. Right? I could somewhat understand why the women could feel comfortable living here, because why? Esau lifting them up. You know, giving them that power. You know, they feel like if they know they're not man and this and that or whatever it is. But the men now, the so-called men, right? Because they're effeminate. You'll go through this shit every day with these women. Right? But yet still, y'all won't get yourself right with the Lord. Hey. It's really a sight to behold with these things, right? It's really a sight to behold. But hey, like we just always say, the Lord is the one in control. You know, so we can't get upset with these things, but it really is a sight to behold, and it's an astonishing thing with what the Lord could do to you. That's why the scripture says a fearful thing to fall in the hands of the living power. In. Especially knowing this truth, I understand the Lord every day that He bring me in this truth, you know? Because thinking how I would have be if I wasn't in this truth, right? I mean, I would not be sad when I'm in the world, because I'd just be blind. And I would have never know what coming. And I would have died. You know? I don't know normal death, a gruesome death. You understand? But now I in the truth, I know how much of a wicked nigga I was in the truth. Salakia, in the world. You know? How much of a wicked nigga I was in the world. That just goes to show. So let me just read over this precept quick, right? It says, how is the gold become dim? How is the most fine gold changed? The stones of the sanctuary are poured out in the top of every street. The precious sons of Zion, comparable to gold, to fine gold, how are they esteemed as earthen pitchers, right? That just means that the Lord bring us down to a lower state, right? We were basically stripped of our glory because, we already know that story, right? Or stories. The work of the hands of the potter, right? We know who's the potter. Even the sea monsters draw out the breasts. They give suck to their young ones. The daughter of my people is become cruel, like the ostriches in the wilderness. Yeah, so that is the state of our women right now. Right? They tell themselves they making it out here. They don't need a man. They can make their own decisions, and everything go run smooth for them. Because they basically getting that wicked support from Esau. So they're thinking that everything's straight, but hey, the Lord have a serious judgment coming, yes. So there's Job 39 and 13. It say, gavest thou the goodly wings unto peacocks, or wings and feathers unto the ostrich, which leaveth her eggs in the earth, Salakia, and warmed them in dust, and forget it that the foot may crush them, or that the wild beast may break them. Right? Now, we know this not literally talking about peacocks and ostriches, right? It's metaphorical, because simply to put, if our ostrich, leave the eggs, or leave her eggs, Salakia, in the dirt or wherever it is, you're completely forgetting the fact that, hey, you could walk on it, or something else could come and walk on it, or dig it up, steal it, whatever it is. Basically how these women are. They and the funny thing is, the last video with Megan Thee Stallion, which she's singing her song, right? The name of that song apparently is Plan B, right? So she don't look into neglect children and thing, because why? She say in the song she don't want to get stuck with them or whatever it is, right? Because she clearly don't want a man, right? She thinks she could do it on her own, right? Because she making money or whatever it is, Esau giving her money. You understand? But for women now who have a child and they on their own, and they self too think that they could do it on their own, they guiding the children down the wrong path. Because another video I seen with these fairy people, right? Because I went on TikTok and I searched prideful women, right? And of course I know some of those videos will have come up, but I was hoping to see some kind of video, but I end up finding these other three, right? But a certain video I see, they caption it as they put in quotation marks, apparently as somebody telling her, the person who post the video, don't tell your kids, or don't confuse your kids with this this freaking fairy shit, or whatever it is. And she show a clip after with her child, apparently, I'm not sure, but her child or a child dancing with the same fairy colors around her neck and thing in a fairy party. You understand? So she dancing around thing, whatever it is. When I scrolling through the comments now, it's only females I see, It's only females. I scroll on a good way. I was reading through some in them, right? And a lot of them saying, confuse them with what? I would love my kid to grow up this way, thing, and this and that. I would teach my child to be so. Or a woman saying, when her son get old enough, she gonna teach him how to be so, or love people that way, or carry him parties like that. And this just goes to show these women and them have no sense of direction. You understand? That's the next precept to come out to, Well, let me continue down in this, right? Verse 16, it says, she is hardened against her young ones, as though they were not hers. Her labor is in vain without fear. Yeah, this is how these women and them think. This is how they think. They thinking that they're doing right by the child, but really and truly they are not, right? Because it have no male in the household to guide her in order for her to guide the kids the right way, right? She moving on her emotions. You understand? She moving on her emotions, and that not healthy at all. That child gonna be raised as a fairy, you know, as an adulterer, whatever it may be. The child gonna be wicked. You understand? So when the scripture say her labor is in vain without fear, right? She laboring in vain, right? And without fear. She not afraid of how a child will be brought up, right? Because she thinking that the child coming up the right way. You understand? She thinking that the child coming up the right way. And that's so off. Right? Verse 17. Right? There's the point here. It says, because Yahweh had deprived her of wisdom, neither had he imparted her understanding. Right? The Lord take wisdom away from her. That is why they need a man in the household. Right? They need men in their lives. You understand? These females and them out there, they can't do it alone. They think that they're doing it alone because why? It's so full in their head with shit. You understand? That's why a lot of them wicked. You know? Shout out to all the aquatium that, you know, that learn the truth and being humble. Even the ones who don't have husbands yet, you know, even though they still off with certain things, you know, they still know at least the way how to dress and how to conduct themselves, you know, and actually seeking a husband. Right? Because I saw some of them on TikTok too. You know, it has some of them out there, right? They offer a little bit, but they actually seeking a husband, and they're saying they want to be taught, they want to be guided in the right direction. You understand? So shout out to them too, because at least they in the right mindset. These women and them out there, they gone, boy. They gone. You understand? And the Lord gonna put a lot of them to death. You know, and all these men too who supporting this shit. Right? Verse 18, it says, what time she lifted up herself on high, she scorned the horse and his rider. Hey, boy, can. She lifted herself on high, right? And scorned the horse and his rider. Yeah, she don't have time for these men and them out there. You know, she don't have time for the men and the Lord, because she lift up herself, right? She thinks she up there. You know, a lot of these women and them with the feminism, they think that, hey, they up there, they don't need a man. As I continue to keep saying, they don't need a man. They up there. They set themselves on the high horse. You understand? They tell themselves they're up there, they're on a pedestal. And these wicked simp niggas and them out here too, they're pushing them up even further. They're supporting them. You know, when is you supposed to be up there? Them supposed to be where you at. Hey, Lord gonna put you all to dead, boy. Alright. I'm back. Yeah, so just to bring back my trader thought here, right? In Job 39:13, it says, gavest thou the goodly wings unto peacocks, or wings and feathers unto the ostrich, right? And we know, like I say, it's not talking about literal peacocks and ostriches, right? Because for one thing, right, in Sirach 17, right, Sirach 17, let's see here. So we just go skim through this here quick, right? In Sirach 17, I want to say the Lord created man of the earth and turned him into it again, right? He gave them few days and a short time, and power also over the things therein. He endued them with strength by themselves, and made them according to his image, and put the fear of man upon all flesh, and gave him dominion over beasts and the fowls, right? So the Lord put man, right, which includes man and woman, over the all flesh, meaning to say the animals, you know, upon all flesh, right? And specifically talking about here too, right? It's specifically talking about the Israelite, you know, because it's here upon all flesh, which is also, you know, above these other nations. Now that's a whole different topic, right? But specifically talking about the animals and thing here, right? And in verse 5, it say they received the use of the 5 operations of the Lord, and in the 6th place he imparted them understanding, and in the seventh speech and interpreter of the cognitions thereof. Right? So the Lord gave man this. Right? Now, animals have hearing, sense, touch, you know. Some have a little less than others, you know, but at the end of the day, the Lord gave man all these, you know, and imparted them the sixth and the seventh speech, right, which animals don't have, right? So we know it's not literal, not literal ostrich and peacocks the Lord talking about in Job 39, right? So that just goes to show, right? It's metaphorical, right? It's talking about the females, you know, the women of the day specifically, because this is their mindset of the day. You understand? You see in verse 17, he said the Lord deprived them of wisdom, neither had imparted to her understanding. Right? So, hey, Salakia, I realized I made a mistake, you know, in Sirach 17. Salakia, I thought I read something wrong there. But yeah. So the Lord basically deprived them of wisdom, neither imparted that understanding. So yeah, the Lord took this away from them because of all the atrocious things they did. Even in Genesis, it spoke about that. You know, a woman will desire to rule over her husband. You know, all these things, all these things is curses unto us for the stuff that we did. You know, punishment. But hey, we hoping and praying, you know, we the hopeful elect, the men of the Lord, you know, hoping that he come back soon and quick, you know, to destroy this place, you know, and set us back in our rulership and, you know, set everything back in order, you know. And we know in that kingdom, we will never fall short again, you know, because everybody will be in the right mind, you know, righteousness will be the only thing in that kingdom, you know, it won't have no wickedness. You understand? So, we hoping and praying for that day to come soon. But anyways, continuing in the lesson. Right, so I went to the blue letter for this one. Lord Salakia. Alright, so blue letter, Proverbs 19:3. It said the foolishness of man perverted his way, and his heart fretted against the Lord. Wealth maketh many friends, but the poor is separated from his neighbor. Right? So, I read the NLT. Right? Okay, give a nice, proper translation here. Right? They say people ruin their lives by their own foolishness. Right? Now, on this part here, we lean more on the women's side, right? Because we know it are a lot of wicked niggas out there. We know this. You know, been saying that. But it's about the women. Right? People ruin their lives by their own foolishness and then are angry at the Lord. Because, yo, I've seen this firsthand many times. Still going on to this day. Right? I have female contacts. You know, people who I know from a long time or whatever it is. You know, don't talk to them much. But I still view their statuses, right? And I spoke to this girl once already about the truth. You know, she made me feel like, you know, she was accepting it, she understanding thing, you know. Then eventually one day, when I keep talking to her about it, she was like, whoop, you see all this? Just, if that you believe, that is you. You know, I don't want to know nothing about that thing. Just so she tell me. So I said, well, all right. You know, that was the end of that. Right? So, she basically ruined her life, you know, with that. But to make it worse is the fact that even though I told her the truth, right, that is the first downfall because she rejected the Lord, right? Well, actually, the Lord rejected her, right? We know this, you know, but she pulled away her hand. She don't want to do the truth or whatever it is, you know. She continued in her wickedness, right? So she ruined her life by her own foolishness, right? Because she basically rejected the word and then she continued in her foolishness, you know. She leaned on her own understanding, right? She's a serious feminist, right? She feel like she could actually wrangle and tangle with a man, you know. And really and truly, most of these men out here, now it's have women that could beat men, right? Because of certain circumstances, right? Whether they actually physically stronger than that man, and that man just is a serious and proper definition of effeminate or whatever it is, right? But really and truly, men are physically and mentally, spiritually stronger than a woman, right? But she believed that she on par with a man, or better put, she believed she on top of a man. She believed she could actually fight with a man, you know. If a man cheat on she gonna do the same thing, you know. There's a lot of these women out there, right? So her foolishness is what ruining her life, because she believe what she doing is right, but then every day on her status you see her posting why things can't go my way, or what it is I ever do to deserve this, and why this do to people, and you know, these kind of remarks and things that she posting, right? So it's like I just be there shaking my head laughing, because I like you have no idea, because she is a seriously wicked woman, a serious wicked woman. You understand? And then they basically angry at the Lord. You know? Now they thinking that they're not angry at the Lord because they might post a little two scripture, you know, feel nice, think, feel like, you know, or everything well and good. But really and truly they angry at the Lord. Because when they angry at certain circumstances, right? Okay, you know, the Lord, he ain't go just love you alone. He had to chastise you. The Lord say he chastise those he love. At the end of the day, she is a Jake, so she's still going to get punished, right? She may not be a member of the elect, who knows? You know, she could end up being at the end, right? But as of right now, she's a 2/3, right? So the Lord chastising her, right? But she don't like when she get the chastisement. So in other words, she angry at the Lord when those things happen, right? If she hear any word, because like I said earlier, when I told her about the word, she didn't want to hear it. You know, she rejected. She don't want it. You know, because she angry at the Lord. Because why? You know, the saying goes, the truth hurts, right? So when she realized the truth was cutting her with certain things, I realized she can't do certain things again. She don't want it. Understand? She rather stay in her wickedness. And then when things happen now, she angry, right? And that anger really turn into what's the Lord, you know, because the Lord chastising her. You understand? Now, verse 4, it says, wealth makes many friends, poverty drives them away, right? And that's what a lot of these women focus on too, right? They focus on making wealth, you know, making it in this kingdom, right? I say poverty drives them all away, right? And as of right now, I glad I am in poverty, because money, or as the scripture say, the love of money is the root of all evil, right? Because money is a serious thing that could change you. You understand? That which scripture also talk about in Exodus. Don't take no gifts, right? Because gifts basically does deceive the righteous, right? So when it is you have money, right? Because you know when you're making it big out there, especially as a singer or actor, whatever it is, he's not gonna buy you off. They're basically taking a gift, right? You know, to do and say whatever it is they want you to. You understand? To be big out there. That's why I'm glad I'm in poverty. You know, as of right now. Scripture talk about storing up your treasures in heaven, not on the earth. You understand? So that is why I want to store up my treasures, not down here. You understand? I storing up my treasures in heaven. That's where I want to be. But these women and them, they prefer to store their wealth here. Right? You know a lady who say, hey, she living now, she wanted now. Right? She have no patience. Or is either that, or she just don't believe that the kingdom of heaven at hand right now. You understand? Because people lack patience, they lack humility, they're not humble, they're not faithful unto the Lord, they're not even faithful unto themselves. Right? They be deceiving themselves to a lot of things. You understand? But hey, it is what it is, yes? It is what it is. Right? This quick precept here is Isaiah 1:9. It says, except Yahweh of hosts, right, the Most High of hosts, had left unto us a very small remnant, which is the 144, right? We should have been as Sodom and we should have been like Gomorrah, right? So if the Lord didn't left the elect, right, that small little remnant, right, we would not be saved, you know. But we would have be like rubbish, you know, because the Lord would have, and we just do it rubbish, just burn it, right? And that's what I'm going to be. You understand? We would have perished along with all these heathens, everything. The Lord would have just wipe out everything clean and start over fresh. You understand? Because the scripture talk about don't fear the man that can just kill the body. Fear the man that can kill both body and spirit. Right? So when the Lord kill we off now, he didn't bound to like just destroy your body alone. He could clean you off completely. You know? Kill your spirit, everything, and just recreate new spirits. You understand? And first to tell you how dread it is to don't feel, well, if the Lord just kill you, boop, you just disappear and dies the end of that. You know? Because the Lord could also just like, alright, create a new spirit, yes, let them live on the earth or whatever it is, and either we be the ones to get tortured way worse than we is right now from Esau Edom, you know, get tortured way worse than how we ever was, because hey, we thoughts is not the Lord thoughts and the Lord thoughts is not ours, you know. So the level of torture, whatever we could think of, the Lord could make things even way worse, way surpass our imagination. You understand? Or the Lord could just have us in a constant state of torture, while the new spirit just on earth living in righteousness thing, and we saying ways, boy, that could have been us. You know, because hey, the Lord know how to kick you in your balls, you know. The Lord know how to kick you in your balls. So hey, don't tempt the Lord at all. You understand? So he say, except the Lord of hosts had left us a small remnant, we should have been as Sodom and we should have been as Gomorrah, right? Because if it was up to these women, right? Now it have elect women, yes, but if it was up to these wicked women, like Shensia now, right? In the first video I showed, right? The man asked her what she would be doing if she was the president, right? These two things what she said, right? Rapists or whatever it is, now in the kingdom, it wouldn't have those things going on because hey, everybody gonna be in righteousness, right? But that rapist now, whatever it is happened to that child or that man or that woman, you know, that is judgment from the Lord, you know, right? So when she says she hate that, she's saying she hate the Lord too, because that judgment they get in. You understand? But she has her judgment to come too, right? When she talk about the racism, right? Hey, the Lord is a racist God, you know, because the word racist just means for your own nation, right? For your own people. And the Lord say he chose Israel, right? Israel above all the other nations upon the face of the earth. So hey, he is racist. So when you say you hate that too, you hate the Lord, right? You hate the Lord. They just goes to show they going based on the emotion. The Lord say he take away wisdom and understanding from them. So she don't know nothing. Right? She don't know anything. So if they really give woman power, right? And even the elites know this. You understand? Even the elites knows this. Because aside from Queen Elizabeth, right? All these other elites and them, all of them are men. Right? And Queen Elizabeth now, she's an Edomite. We all know this, right? She's a wicked Edomite, right? They know at the end of the day, it all boils down to our food, right? And all of them indulge in the same wickedness, right? But at the end of the day, all of them are men. Most of them are men, right? So they still know to think logically and where's the word? Oh gosh, statistically, right? In order to deal and execute their plans, right? If it was up to Queen Elizabeth and all the rest was just women, you know, their plan would have basically done fall apart already, really and truly. You understand? Because she would have been based on her emotions, especially in these times now when the prophets come out on the street, right? We would have been hurting their feelings. They'd have been all emotional and thing and this and that. And boom, they would have just exposed the whole plan because they would have get emotional. Be like, hey, you see these men on the streets? We gotta kill them. Blah, blah, blah. And then boom, everybody find out what's going on and thing. You know? It could have been that way. But the Lord put elite men, because at the end of the day, though they're wicked, right, they still being controlled by the Lord, right? And at the end of the day, they're still men, right? And a man will think more logically and statistically than a woman. You understand? So the Lord know what he doing. The Lord set things in place. Hey, this truth really happen. This truth really happen. Can't deny the facts. Right? There's Micah 7 and 5. Right? Just get straight to the point here. Right? It says, trust ye not in a friend, put ye not confidence in a guide. Keep the doors of thy mouth from her that light in thy bosom. Right? The translation say, don't trust anyone, not your best friend or even your wife. Right? So, hey, this translation on point at Yapa. Right? Because I made a video about this too. Don't trust anyone, but the Lord. Because, hey, nothing wrong with trusting Akim too. Right? Because you just really feel that spirit, you just feel the sincerity, the humbleness, you just really feel the light, coming off of certain brothers, so you just know you could trust them and thing and this and that, But at the end of the day too, the Lord does do a lot of sifting, because one day that brother could be going straight and then boom, he just fall off. And then, hey, when the end time come now, and they're asking where this brother was or where this person was thing and that, and they sell you out. You understand? They sell you out because you don't tell your mother, your father, everybody. They will sell you out when Esau come down, having that great rat, right? And they're asking for answers, right? Tell me what it is, else I kill you, or I kill your son, I kill your daughter, I kill your husband, I kill your wife, whatever it is. They will sell you out because they want to live. Right? That way the scripture talk about that whosoever seek it after their life, they will lose it. You understand? Now that scripture going into something else too, but it could be used in this circumstance here too. Right? So it just goes to show, right? Now again, I'm not saying you can't trust Akim. Because at the end of the day, they are the ones that are there for you. Right? True, Yahweh Shy, the Lord, make you to abide with the brotherhood. You love them, you treat them, with love, respect. You understand? But hey, every brother know this. It's just certain things you keep to yourself. You understand? Because at the end of the day, you don't know who is who. Right? Or you don't know who the Lord will sift out. You understand? So you trust the Lord. Right? You trust the Lord because, hey, the Lord say, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Right? So you gotta put your trust in Him. Right? Especially these Eves and them. Right? Don't trust them. Your wives, especially these women. Right? Because even your wife and all, right? She may be the other half. But certain things you just can't tell them. Because why? They're emotional. Especially now that they may be in the truth, yes. Right? But they not in that state of mind to accept certain things. Because you may go and tell your wife, hey, I could have a second wife, whatever it is thing. And up to this day, they will still never accept it. They will agree with everything else, even down to the dressing properly, wearing this, wearing that. But you see that second wife thing, they can't deal with it. You understand? That is why it's just to keep it on a low, I ain't saying to go and do anything, whatever it is. That is your business, right? But, it's not everything you will tell your wife, or not, it's not everything you will tell anybody. You trust the Lord, you say it in your prayer, you ask Him for guidance or whatever it is. Right? So, hey, that is how it ought to be. Alright, so there's Isaiah 3 and verse 16. It says, moreover, Yahweh said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet. Right? So the Lord basically saying they walking with pride. They feel like nobody could tell them anything. They run in the world. According to Beyonce, who run the world girls. The level of pride that they have. You understand? They put themselves, or rather Esau put them on top of this pedestal, and make them feel like if, hey, they up there. And like I said before, these simp niggas, they pushing them to be even more so. You understand? And they are not gonna get destroyed too, right? Because they rather be a simple woman, you know, begging and pleading. And hey, they think when they do that and submit to a woman, they think that a woman will actually stay with them or be with them or whatever it is. But hey, even a woman in the truth, right, or even a simple woman, you know, who don't really move in that prideful way, she might have prideful ways towards certain things or whatever it is, you know, but for the most part she humble, you know. Even if you go to a woman like that and you simp after her in that way, right, she's still gonna leave. Because why? A woman, whether they want to say it or admit it or not, right, women like a man who could take control, right, and actually handle their business, you know, and who could actually provide and do stuff for them, you know, because deep down, whether they're wicked or not, they still want a leader, you know, because you see a lot of these women talk about it too, right? They want somebody to guide them, right? But the thing about it is, they won't want to be guided in the righteous way. They want to be guided down in a wicked path, you know. They still want to have somebody who they could talk to, or who they feel they could protect them then, you know. So if it is you simp and you only behind them and nagging them and thing and this and that, you know, they will get uninterested by you because they know what is your every move, they know what you're gonna do, they know they could walk all over you, right? So from the time a woman knows she could walk all over you, she gonna lose interest, right? Or if it is so from the start, she not even gonna gain interest. You understand? So that's just the reality of it. So you being a simp, not even helping your cause. You understand? You just helping yourself onto destruction. You understand? So yeah, verse 17 it say, therefore the Lord will smite a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and the Lord will discover their secret parts. Right? So like reading the NLT now, it says, so the Lord will send scabs on her head, and the Lord will make the beauty of Zion bald. Right? So the Lord put a curse on their head. They're not literally bald, but as you could see with a lot of these jakes, right, their hair can't grow properly. It can't grow long enough. It'll be tangled up. It'll be hard. All these things, you know, you have to put all these treatment and stuff in their hair, you know, for it to be soft. Now a lot of them just take the cheap way out and they just put relaxer in the hair or texturizer, whatever it is, you know. They had to do all these things to make themselves look proper, or so-called look proper, right? We'll go down into it some more. It's saying in verse 18, right? In that day, the Lord will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet and their cords and their wrong tires like the moon. Hey, go read the NLT. It say, on that day of judgment, the Lord will strip away everything that makes her beautiful, ornaments, headbands, crescent, necklaces. Right? So yeah, basically the Lord will not strip them of all these things, down to the pride. You know, everything that make them feel like if they're up there, the Lord gonna strip them of that. Right? And we're gonna get into that precept too in Isaiah 4:1, right? We'll go into that too. Right? In verse 19 it say the chains and the bracelets and the mufflers, right? You can read the NLT, earrings, bracelet and veils, right? The bonnets and the ornaments of the legs and the headbands and the tables and the earrings, right? NLT, scarves, ankle bracelets, sashes, perfumes and charms, right? Verse 21, the rings, the nose jewels, right? The changeable suits of apparel, and the mantles and the wimples and the crisping pins, right? The same party clothes, gowns, capes, purses, right? Purses, like here. Verse 23, it say the glasses and the fine linen and the hoods and the veils, right? So in NLT it say mirrors, fine linen garments, head ornaments and the shawls, right? Verse 24 it say, and it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell there shall be stink, and instead of a girdle a rent, and instead of well set hair baldness, right? So you see the same thing I was talking, right? Baldness. and instead of a stomach, Salakia, instead of a stomach, a girding of sackcloth and burning instead of beauty, right? The translation is instead of smelling of sweet perfume, she will stink, right? So you see, when you meet a lot of these women down, not even down here alone, all over the country, all over the world, Salakia, right? When you meet a lot of women and down there smelling weird, they're smelling funny. Now a lot of them have the audacity to say that is how it's supposed to smell, and that is how it this, and that is how it that. No, that is not how it's supposed to smell, right? Because for number one, you take so much rod up in you that all the sperm that mix up in you or whatever it is, you know, it causing that smell, right? Because a woman's supposed to have one seed in her, right? And that's supposed to be a husband for life, right? And whether they come inside of you or not, right, it's still different scent going up in you. It's still going to create different scents, right? Because it's a curse from the Lord. You understand? So when they say that is how it's supposed to smell or whatever it is, no, that is not how it's supposed to smell, right? Because even self to women these days, they don't even wash themselves properly, right? Now some women, they may do it properly with the proper oils, you know, and when they're gonna bathe, right? Women are supposed to be like rinsing off in the shower and thing. They're supposed to have like a bathtub where the water could go up inside and flush them out and clean them out properly, you know, because when they just in the shower and they stoop down and they wash or whatever it is, you know, the water falling down, so no water ain't really going up inside to say, you know, they're gonna take out majority and plenty of the stuff, you know. So that's one of the main reasons to why they're gonna stink. You understand? That's why they're gonna stink. Right? So continuing on, it says she will wear a rope for a sash, and her elegant hair, Salakia, will fall out. You see, the elegant hair will fall out. Yeah, because why? For one thing, all these chemicals are put in her hair, and two, it's a curse from the Lord. Right? Because like I say, the hair, they you know, all these women and them, if you're really taking all women, right? How many of our women like Negroes, right? Like they both have Jake parents, right? Like black and black, so-called black and black parents, right? How many of them do you know that they will look good with their natural hair? You know, like we ain't talking about no Douglas, no mix, nothing, right? Or so-called mixers, you see, because you know, is what your father is, right? But how many people do you know, right? How many Jakes do you know that has like nice good hair, you know, nice good long hair, right? A nice pretty face, you know, the body nice and smooth, the looking proper and thing. Don't get me wrong, it have some of them out here, you know, but how many of them, you know? And even self too, it still may have a trace of another nation in that line, in that lineage coming down, eh? But hey, how many of them have you ever met or seen, you know, with the hair natural, you know, the body natural, they don't wear makeup and all these things, you know, natural beauty. You understand? It's not much, you know, it's very, very few women, and they still have certain qualities that not right with them, you know. It's just, hey, everybody had their own luck, so they get certain curses fall upon them, while others are, because if you really take it into a lot of these pretty women out there, you know, whether they wear makeup or not, or all these fancy things or not, you know, they have a nasty attitude, right? They're prideful as hell. I meet a lot of them, right? So that is their downside, you know. When it have these not so pretty women out there, right? The ugly ones, they might have nice personalities. You understand? And we all know this. We all know this. You understand? So all these things is curses, because the Lord say, hey, he basically smite all these curses upon the women, right? That way when they had a belly fat and thing, they feel insecure about it, even though we men that say we don't mind, right? I don't mind it. You understand? But hey, the Lord put it upon them, because why? You know, that is their punishment. You know, they feel insecure about it, right? They had a way weave and thing to so-called look good, do the nails, the eyelashes, the makeup, all these things. You understand? To look good. All these things that they do, and they had the audacity to walk with pride and feel like if they're the hottest thing out there, you know, towards women. And on top of that too, women clothes so damn cheap. Right? I walking down the road and stuff, and I seeing, you know, clothes for like $20, $60, you know, and that's female clothes, you know, $20 for that top, $60 for that dress, $100, you know, thing like that, right? While we men clothes expensive as hell. You understand? That's why the scripture say, hey, in the Lamentations, right? The men is the real prize, you know. That's why Esau do so many things to keep us down, because we know for the poor men who can't afford all these fancy clothes where these women like to see us in, or even to dress properly, right? They go watch us as underlow niggas who can't provide properly or who can't dress properly and these kind of things, and they will turn away from you, you know. But like I say, let me get into that precept one time, because hey, a lot of these women feel everything just hunky-dory. You understand? So, this Isaiah 4:1, it say, and in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. Right? Must see what the NLT saying. It say, in that day, so few men will be left that 7 women. Oh, that's one point, eh? So few men, because a lot of these men gonna get put to death too, eh? We know this. Right? Right? So it say, in that day, so few men will be left that 7 women will fight for each man, saying, let us all marry you. Right? Now they wouldn't fight for us, right? They wouldn't be fighting each other for us or whatever it is, you know. A matter of fact, who knows, they might really be doing that, right? Because they're not in the right mind, you know. So hey, I can't say for sure, right? But the scripture say women will fight for each man, saying, let us all marry you. We will provide our own food and clothing. Only let us take your name, so we won't be mocked as old maids. Yeah. So in the Isaiah 3, right, coming down, right, from 16 straight down to 24, when the Lord was talking about, right, he gonna strip away all those things, right, from them, right, he gonna bring them down low, right. Me and I believe 3 other Akiam, I believe all of us was there present for that video too, right. The title of that video too, the strong black woman will be brought low, right. You could take in that video too, because that is a Yappa video, right. Because when the Lord stripped them of all these things, you know, and it reached to this point here now, all that pride and thing that they had, they're going to throw it out the window, because they're going to see, hey, things getting real bad. Esau can't help them no more, you know. Esau helping himself, right. Esau was always about helping himself, you understand. But just they didn't know that. So when shit hit the fan now, they're gonna seek for the man of the Lord, right. They not at that point in time now, they're not gonna care if you already have a woman or whatever it is. Them saying, hey, I want to come with you too, you know, thing, and boom boom boom. That's how we're gonna be. That is why I said earlier, I glad I am in poverty right now. Stop my treasures in heaven, you know. Even before this will pass away, right? You know, it's gonna be such a nice feeling knowing that these same wicked women who was rejecting you and saying all these wicked things to us, you know, throwing stuff at us, threatening us, you know, send other men to threaten us and all these things, you know, all the wicked things that they're doing. These same women is the ones that go in and swallow the pride and come and begging, you know, groveling at your feet to help them out. You know, you're gonna put the spirit on us to curse them out, and the ones who we put the spirit on us to keep, we will keep them. You know, and the rest of them gonna get cast out. They're gonna get cursed out. They're gonna burn. Yeah, they're gonna burn. Satan now coming back for them, because you see this here. You see this here. This is what they think is established. This is what they're trying to establish, right? The queendom, and this just go to show. This just go to show. Salakia, right? We can't make this stuff up, right? Because we've been talking about queendom. We stopped saying kingdom because at the end of the day, this whole so-called kingdom just effeminate. So we just eventually started saying queendom, right? And look at this. These people be hearing us, boy. These people be hearing us, right? And instead of they take heed, they basically make it into a show, right? They make it into a show. You see, ticket event, wrong here. Ting, November 12th or whatever it is, But we know that time done pass. But I had this picture on my phone for a while. I sent it for the Akim and them, I say I could add this in the video. Because this is what they establishing, right? A queendom, right? Look at them. See, they're half naked. They have all the costly apparel. Look, all of them having thing in the hair, weave, braids, whatever it is. Extensions. All of them have on makeup. Look at them. This is the state of our women, right? And the Lord is gonna strip away all those things. So they're gonna have to swallow the pride in that time. In Isaiah 4:1, they're gonna have to swallow the pride and come to us. And like I say, a lot of them gonna get cast away, and the ones that the Lord put the Spirit on us for us to keep, right? Because they will be the elect women or whatever it is, and those are the ones we're gonna keep, and they will be the lucky ones. Because hey, the Lord sees not a respecter of persons, So you don't know who is who. You don't know if it is you gonna get saved yourself. You understand? So much less for these women and them. You understand? That's why it's always important to remain humble and don't let pride overtake it. Because what the scripture say, pride goes before a fall. Right? Pride goes before destruction. You understand? So yeah, don't let that overtake it. Especially the aquatium that listening and learning. If anything I said was offended, you take offense to it. Try not to take offense to it. Instead take heed. Continue to learn and grow. Be faithful unto your husbands. And yeah, you will live to see that day. Keep on praying for you and your husband. And if you have kids, pray that your family make it out. Because hey, the time's gonna get real dread. Real dread. So with that, I hope this lesson was edifying. Through the Spirit and power, Yabashim Yahushai. This is your brother Kyle, signing out. Shalom.